As a kid, I hated being a girl. I thought it was way too complicated to be a girl. You had the weight of so many expectations. Everyone had an opinion on how you should sit, eat, walk, talk. Not to mention the endless restrictions of what you could do or couldn't. Needless to say, I was a rebel. I hated the idea of anything feminine. It was weak. It was something people thought they could control, wrap in a tightly wrapped box. And I was having none of it. I stayed away from anything girly. Your Barbies, plates, the color pink, playing kitchen. I liked cars, racing, a sporty bob cut, blue always, and playing anything but kitchen. But a few things changed in the last few years. Hello and welcome back to another episode on the Being Miraculous podcast. I'm your host and self-awareness coach Shweta Shivraman, and today I'm going to share some thoughts on Women's Day and how women can truly empower themselves. Like I mentioned in the introduction, I denied anything feminine in me as a child. I would be stone cold practical, rational, analytical. I'd look the other way from my emotions, pretend that weakness didn't exist in me, valued strength in all the wrong ways. But in the last few years, I've started embracing my femininity. I denied the divine feminine in me for so long that when I opened the doors, there was an overflowing realization of just how wonderful it is to be a woman. What came through many of these inquiries was that being a woman is to be complex and many. Virginia Woolf says it best when she says, "It becomes clear that I'm not one and simple, but complex and many." We contain multitudes. This is true for men too, but I feel women personify this a lot more often. We are fierce but gentle. We're strong but compassionate. We are firm but kind. We are creators and givers. We are natural nurturers with an infinite reserve of compassion, a sharp as knife intuition, more spiritually inclined than men. Menstruation can be a pain, but it also keeps us connected to the cycles of the planet and the moon, keeping us connected, aligned, and more open to spiritual evolution. We've got each other's back. I'd be nothing without my girl tribe, and I'm sure that's the case for many of you women listening to me. Women get it. Sorry men, no offense here, but sometimes it takes a woman to understand another. And there's nothing like having your tribe of women with whom you can share the things with confidence and receive unconditional support. There's so much mutual support we can gain as women, to be a cheerleader, to push our friends beyond their comfort zone and conquer what's theirs, to receiving strength, love and support to pursue all our dreams. Feminism has got quite a bad rep today, and rightfully so. It's not about one gender being preferred over the other while the other suffers. Feminism to me means equality. Equality to have the freedom to make choices that's right for themselves. Equality in owning the consequences of one's actions. Right now, we're fighting for one without the other, and that will only create more of an imbalance. Equality doesn't mean competing with men in physicality and strength. If that's what you like, then go for it. But that's not what we mean when we say equality. Equality doesn't mean we shared our individualistic strengths to be collectively average. Equality, to me, is to allow both genders to play to their individual strengths, allowing both genders the same freedom, same flexibility, the same consideration, and most importantly, the same consequences for bad actions. But more on that for another debate. This Women's Day, I wanted to share a message. 6 things to all the women out there. 1. Never lose your financial independence. Financial independence is the first step towards having your say and choice in your life. It offers you the freedom and the flexibility to do things you'd like without relying on others. Having some level of financial independence is crucial so you have some monetary backing to choose yourself at all times. 2. You don't have to justify your decisions to anyone. I've often felt guilt and try hard to justify my choices, whether I'm taking a week off for myself or signing up for a new course that doesn't involve family, and I've seen many women do the same. You don't have to justify your decisions and choices to anyone. Whether you want to be married or not, whether you want to have children or not, whether you want to do that course or not, you do not have to justify your choices to anybody else. Do what's right for you when it's right for you. 3. Putting yourself first is not selfish. As women, we are naturally givers, compassionate nurturers, wanting to put others and their preferences first. And prioritizing ourselves makes us feel guilty. I think most women I know spend 70% of their lives feeling guilty about something or the other. Know that it's okay to prioritize yourself. I'd say it's not just okay but necessary to prioritize yourself. You can't pour from an empty cup. And the longer you put yourself last, the more resentful and angry you'll get towards others who you prioritize before you, ruining the very relationships that matter most to you. Many women in their 40s are bitter and resentful to the very people they love because they've compromised, lost what makes them them in the service of others' needs, and find themselves confused when time slips by and they've not achieved anything they desired. You deserve to prioritize yourself every now and then. It's not selfish to do that. It's the only way to live life without guilt and resentment. If you need that me time for yourself, take it every now and then. It is necessary. 4. Ditch the shoulds and start focusing on the wants. As women, we are often at the receiving end of many unsolicited opinions. Everyone has an opinion on every aspect of our lives. What we should look like, what clothes should we wear, when should we be married, when our biological clock is ticking, how we should wear our hair, whom we should marry, what kinds of careers we need to have, what we must sacrifice. The list is endless. Stop wasting away precious time in your life to meet these endless lists of what and how a woman should be. Instead, focus on your wants. What is it that you truly want to do? How would you want to spend this time in a way that's meaningful for you? Dare to dream of a life that you truly desire and will make you happy. 5. Ask for help. We often hope that people around us telepathically understand what we need. But let's face it, it's impossible for others to know, especially when we hardly know what we want for ourselves. Instead of trying to do it all by ourselves, we need to get comfortable asking for help from our spouses, from our siblings, from our parents and our in-laws. Spell it out clearly. What is getting too much for you, and have conversations on how you can ease the load on your plate to ensure you can keep going steadily and sustainably. 6. Increase your tolerance for difficult conversations. Women as a gender, and I'm generalizing here a bit, forgive me for that, hesitate from confronting. We like our peace and we prefer to sacrifice, compromise, bite our teeth and let go of disagreements for the greater good. But this doesn't serve us in the long run. If you're not okay with how things are going at work, in relationships, prepare yourself to confront and have those unpleasant conversations. Shoving it under the rug will only make it worse for you in the long run. Gradually increase your tolerance, have those tough confrontations, articulate clearly what your view is, and stand your ground even when things get ugly, as they do sometimes. It's okay. Shakti means the power or energy and is imagined as female. Shakti is a supreme being created from the united power of all the gods and is the energy behind the power of nature, of the wind, the oceans, the fire, the sun, of life itself. She is the divine mother who also exemplifies the strength latent in every woman. To be fierce yet gentle, strong yet compassionate, firm yet loving, powerful yet graceful is to be a woman. You're not too sensitive, you're not too weak, you're not too thin, you're not too fat, you're not too naive, or you're not too shrewd. Shed these labels societies impose on us. You are you, and you can be wonderfully you without being too much or too less of something. Don't be afraid to take up space and be unequivocally you. Here's hoping all you amazing women listening in embrace the softer and the masculine parts in you with the same love, that you find that delicate balance and celebrate the magic of being a woman. And to all the men listening in, here's hoping you have the courage to be with a woman who is all of this and more. Let's channel that divine feminine within us every single day, and not just on Women's Day. Ask for what's rightfully ours and live up to the true power of a woman. Until we meet again, this is Shweta signing off, hoping you have a fabulous week ahead.